I think that, I think that BBC are still a bit stuffy because they get complaints and, they're a sort of government body, so they fear complaints. But live, no, anything, it's just, no.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
So this is...
Well...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, just because you're...
In a candid and thought-provoking discussion, comedian Ricky Gervais sat down with The View's Joy Behar to talk about the changing world of comedy, political correctness, and the crucial role of free speech. Known for his sharp wit and fearless humor, Gervais pointed out that the idea of being offended is subjective. What offends one person might not even register with someone else. Just because something upsets you doesn't automatically make it wrong, he emphasized. Reflecting on his working-class roots, personal experiences with fame, and how humor has helped him navigate life's challenges, Gervais argued that comedy's true job is to tackle tough, uncomfortable topics rather than avoiding them. Trying to make everyone happy, he said, is a losing game. Comedians need the freedom.
In 7 years, and this time he's taken on all of humanity. Please welcome back the fabulous and quite funny Ricky Gervais. So, before we get into what the special is about, the question everybody wanted me to ask you is, are you excited about the royal wedding?
You can't even say it with a straight face. Am I excited about the royal family?
Yeah. No, the royal wedding.
No, I'm not excited about it. Listen, I've got nothing against the royal family, but I don't like any of that sort of frivolous nonsense.
Right.
I actually know William and Harry. They've come to about 2 or 3 of my gigs, I mean, it's on every paper all the time. My news show, it's like, oh, no, I'm not interested at all.
I wonder,
Thanks for asking.
Just on the same subject, though, when I was in England trying to do stand-up there, you can't say anything about the Queen. They have a fit, and they won't laugh. Is that true when you do it?
No, not anymore. Not my
Well, it was then.
No. I mean, I think that, I think that BBC are still a bit stuffy because they get complaints and, they're a sort of government body, so they fear complaints. But live, no, anything, it's just, no.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
So this is...
Well...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're wrong.
Be a powerful tool for discussing sensitive issues and sparking meaningful conversations. Gervais is back with his first stand-up special in 7 years, and this time, he's taking on all of humanity. Please welcome back the hilarious Ricky Gervais. Before we dive into the special, there's one question everyone wants to know. Are you excited about the royal wedding? He chuckles. Am I excited about the royal wedding? No. Not really. I don't have anything against the royal family, but that whole thing isn't really my scene. Gervais didn't hold back.
Offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? So you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues. And sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you can't legislate against stupidity. Otherwise you'll be doing nothing. So if you're saying anything, well, you should polarize. You should polarize because everyone's different. So,
but this year you didn't host, and do you miss the fact that this was the Weinstein year?
Oh, I was salivating. Honestly, I got an adrenaline rush thinking of what I could say and whether I'd have to go to jail. And I like that opportunity because I do like that. When there's a tension, when there's an elephant in the room, although he wasn't there this year. I do like that because I do like confronting that because I think it takes the audience to a place it hasn't been before, and it can be a mutual backslapping, fest, fine, but don't televise it, because I'm not doing it for the 200 egos in the room. I'm doing it for the 200 million people watching around who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires, who
don't care about winning the award.
Yeah.
That's right.
Humanity, which we mentioned, is your first comedy special in 7 years, and you say that it's the right time for it, the subject matter.
Yeah, well, I left it for 7 years, not on purpose. I was doing other things. I did a series, I did Derek, I did a couple of movies, and I pushed it back.
Admitting that while he's met Prince William and Harry a few times at his gigs, the whole royal wedding craze just isn't his thing. "I'm just not interested," he said. "It's all over the papers. It's everywhere." Thanks for asking, though. The conversation then turned to British comedy, with Joy Behar asking about the strictness around making jokes about the Queen. Ricky laughed, explaining how times have changed. Back in the day, you couldn't make a joke about the Queen without people losing their minds. But not anymore. The BBC, sure, they're still a bit stiff, afraid of complaints. They're like a government body, so they play it safe. But live shows?
I could give everything else up because it's such a privilege, and freedom of speech is so important these days. And you've got to, and I've reached the age now where I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? It's like,
welcome aboard,
what's the worst that can happen?
Welcome aboard.
I'm going to die soon.
Yeah.
So I'm offended. I'm going to die. So what? So.
You made enough money at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have to care.
I'm going to give that to animals anyway, just to see.
Are you?
On my
This led to a deeper discussion on comedy and offense. Gervais pointed out that people often confuse being offended with being right. The thing with offense is, it's all about feelings, he said. And feelings are personal. Some people get offended by equality. It's impossible to predict what's going to upset someone, so if you try to please everyone, you're going to please no one. For him, comedy is about tackling taboos and exploring difficult topics. He sees his work as a way to push boundaries and spark conversations. Even if some people don't always agree with where it leads, Gervais explained that his comedy often deals with contentious issues, using irony and challenging ideas that not everyone might get. You can't legislate against stupidity.
Aren't with us anymore, and joked about the mum's funeral, because that's what. I think that's what humour's for. It gets us over bad stuff. So it's a sin. Not to joke about all the bad things, that's a waste. Because that's exactly what we should joke about.
I also feel that when you talk about people who have gone to the next world, whatever that is, that you're keeping them alive in a way.
Well, yeah, they exist.
They're still there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And, I tell it, there was a lot of truth, so I tell the truth, it's not just this idealised view of your mum. You tell, why. I remember when I was 12, I got older brothers and sisters, which is why I'm like I am, I suppose. I like to show off to be heard, right? And they're much older than me. They're like 11, 13 and 14 years older than me. And I remember when I was about 12, I said to my mum, why are my brothers and sisters so much older than me? And she said, you were a mistake.
And there you have it.
I just laugh.
It's true, because sometimes it's also the way you can grieve. Because when my brother passed, when I started talking about it in my show, because it was like, I couldn't understand how he was more good looking dead than I was alive.
That's great.
And people were like, really? I was like, yeah, because you have to keep talking. You have to keep talking to stay present.
Absolutely, making part of the thing, and it is with affection. I just think that it's like my mum would have loved it.
And they're hilarious anyway.
Well, it's funny. Funny is funny.
Yeah.
Funny is funny. There's no time and a place for being funny. I know some things are sensitive, and I think you have to respect that. And let's get this: I wouldn't be doing those jokes at someone else's mum's funeral.
I do it at
mine, because I know that
Let's talk about your partner, Jane, because I've met Jane. She's a lovely person. You've been with her for how many years? 35?
30 years,
30 years.
30 years, yeah.
Not married yet, though.
No.
You're never going to get married.
No.
He
doesn't like any of this.
There's no point.
Yeah. We don't want our families to meet, and
But you've said that the key to a happy relationship is separate bathrooms, which I totally agree with.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And why is that?
One less argument, isn't it? So it's great. It's lovely to have your space, and it's brilliant. Yeah.
I know. I think so too. What about separate bedrooms now?
Oh no.
Let's not get crazy, Joy.
Just
No, you're really active on Twitter. You have 13 million followers, and you love to engage with trolls. It's a fun pastime for you.
Yeah.
You post unflattering photos of yourself, which I think we have, mostly in the bath. What is it with your bath obsession? What's going on here?
I love a bath. I think it's because when I was little, a bath was like a luxury. You know, we could afford like, 2 a week each in the family. So now I think that's my luxury.
Now you're gluttonous, laying in the bath.
Honestly, my baths have got bigger and more luxurious. I have 1 or 2 a day, and so I've got the iPhone. So I think, and it's great to look. You're in that position, and those are taken all around the world. There was Oslo, and I do a relevant, bath pic wherever I go.
They're very themed.
Do you think
They're very themed, yeah.
Do you think that growing up poor like you did, and I grew up in a tenement, Whoopi grew up in a project.
I was just in Iowa, so.
She's from Iowa, whatever. Do you think that makes you funnier?
Well, I think so, because that was the thing about growing up. I was born into poverty and like welfare housing, and my dad was a labourer, mum was a housewife, and I was the youngest of 4. But the point was to